Hi, Kamal. Okay. Hello, everyone. Looks like we are live on YouTube. Um, Again, hello, everyone, and welcome to our Fireside Chat with the awesome alumni that we have. So today's discussion is a very casual, a discussion for you to get to meet our graduates and to get to ask them questions and learn from their experiences. So to kick off the webinar for today, first of all, if you don't know me, my name is Chris. I am the co-founder and CEO of Zaka. And prior to that, I've been in the software and tech industry for more than 12 years. I've had a lot of experience in building AI projects and working on AI projects. And then I shifted a bit the focus to become an educator in the field and to help other people join the field of AI through Zaka and through Beirut AI. But enough about me. We're here to meet our graduates, and today we have three awesome graduates. We have Reem, we have Muhammad, and we have Maryam with us. So I'm gonna give each one 30 seconds to introduce themselves, and then we can start with the question. So let's start with Reem.
Hello everyone. Hi. So I'm Reem Al Shammari. I'm from Kuwait, and I'm a computer engineer. I work at the Kuwait College of Science and Technology, and I'm Zaka graduate in the specialization of data science.
Great to have you with us, Reem. Thank you for joining.
Sure.
Let's next go to Muhammad.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Mohmammed AlAlem. I'm a software engineering student at Al Faisal University, and I'm minoring in AI. I'm a recent graduate from the Zaka cohort as well, and Data Science Specialization.
Awesome. Good to have you, Muhammad.
Thank
Last
you.
but not least, Maryam. Go ahead and
Hello
introduce yourself.
everyone. My name is Maryam Abdul Baseer. I'm a bachelor student in information security in University of Technology and Applied Science, and I recently graduated from Zaka in the machine learning field.
Great. Thank you all. We really appreciate taking the time and joining us on this webinar. Hopefully, it's going to be a fun discussion and a useful discussion for anyone who's watching. So, guys, we asked you, what would you like to ask our graduates? When you were registering for the webinar, there was a field where you get to ask your question. So we asked you to submit your question for our graduates, and we received more than 50 questions, to be honest, different questions about different things. To try to make it a bit like a smooth experience, we grouped the questions into 4 main topics. So the questions are either technical questions or related to the learning journey or careers and jobs, or finally the AIC program or the Zaka's program that everyone was graduating from. So we are going to go through each topic one by one and answering the questions in that order, right? And of course, if anyone's watching right now and you'd like to ask us a question, you can mention that in the chat, and we will get to that towards the end of the webinar. So we will start with the technical questions. And the first question is, what does machine learning or artificial intelligence mean? So sometimes you try to merge 2 similar questions into one question. That's why you might find some similarities. But again, it's a very important thing to always start by defining what you're talking about. And so who would like to answer that question? Should be easy, after taking a 16-week-long program. Who would like to define machine learning? Go ahead, Reem.
So machine learning part, I'm not really expert with it. Maryam can talk better on that field. But artificial intelligence is actually the field of training your computer to imitate human act through code, through math, and you can gain that knowledge through Zaka, obviously. They give you the basics to learn artificial intelligence, how to do things in an intelligent way, using code and, as I said, using math and statistics.
Great. Anyone would like to add, Maryam?
Yeah, regarding the machine learning, it's like dealing with the algorithms and creating models, training them, and later on bringing it into production and monitoring it as well. So that's regarding the machine learning I would like to share.
Definitely, that's important also, the monitoring part, because usually people think that once I deploy the model, my job is done and I can move on, but actually this is the beginning of the whole process. So yeah, and as a quick wrap up, AI means algorithms, right? Most people think that AI is robotics and robots, and this is not really what AI is. Like majority of the AI solutions that we see out there are algorithms, are smart algorithms that can process data and can make predictions based on that data. Moving on to the next question, what is the difference between machine learning, data science, and maybe data engineering? Mohammed, would you like to start?
Sure, definitely. I mean, geez, where to start? It's the question that I was hung up about when I joined the program. Well, if I had to put it, I guess machine learning is leaning more towards the technical side, where you already have a machine learning model and you try to fine-tune the hyperparameters in order to get the best possible model and the best possible results in terms of accuracy or whatever you're aiming for. While data science does the initial part and deals with data, I believe that it's more tilted towards the business side as well. In regards for data engineering, I honestly don't have that much of a background in data engineering. All I know is that it deals with data in terms of cleaning it, pre-processing it, and it creates a pipeline for it.
Yep, exactly. So basically, machine learning, if you want to define it, I would say it's a group of algorithms that can process data, as we said. And data science is more of a field that deals with data, right? So scraping data, gathering data, and cleaning data is mostly, a data scientist's job. Of course, data scientists also play with models. They train models, they evaluate models. And when it comes to data engineering, which is a very exciting field right now, they're more of the people who are responsible for building the infrastructure that allows companies to gather data and work with the data itself. So moving on, how to know which model or algorithm to follow in my projects. This is very interesting. There's a lot of algorithms. How do we pick which one works best for us? Who would like to answer that question? No one? Okay.
Well, I mean, it really depends on the issue you're trying to resolve, yani, in terms of the problem, whether it's a problem for predicting, maybe you would use a regression model, or if it's a problem for a classification, you would use another model.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then it's all about trying it out and fine-tuning the hyperparameters to see where it leads you.
Exactly, as Mohammed said, it depends on your objective, I would say, and what type of data do you have, and you act accordingly. It's all on you. What do you have and what do you want? You need to know a plan, a strategy for your work, and then you can decide the model that can provide you the most benefits and saves you the money, the time, the effort, and the work that you can save with it.
Exactly. I think you summarized the Reem exactly when you said, first of all, it depends on what your problem is and what type of data you're dealing with. These are very important. And also, which you also mentioned that, it's important that you define exactly what you are looking to get out of this model. Like, what are my inputs and what are my outputs? Because AI or machine learning, it's not just like a magic solution that's going to automatically solve the problem, right? You really have to define, what am I doing here? What am I looking to get, etc. So these are very good questions. Moving on. There are plenty of models available off the shelf from many libraries. Is there a need to create new models based on the task that you're given? or you can just match and tune? Maybe Maryam can answer this question.
Yeah, well, it actually depends. So the pre-trained models actually help a lot. We can do the parameter tuning, and it actually then helps us to give good results. And also, it actually depends on the problem what you're trying to solve. Sometimes you can build it from scratch, and sometimes you can use a pre-trained model as well. So it gives good results because it's trained on good data set. I mean, large data sets. So that's why.
100%. Reem, you want to add something?
Yeah, as Maryam said, I would add just it depends also on what do you really want and what do you need. If your problem doesn't actually exist, of course you need to build your own model. If you can use like other models, other techniques, methods, okay, it's good. You can employ them in your model. But in our case, our capstone project was like translating from English to different Arabic dialects, so Kuwaiti, Saudi, and Egyptian. We didn't find much material on it, in the web. So we had to do so many things on our own, and we used some things that actually exist.
100%. I would also want to add that the process of taking a pre-trained model and then fine-tuning it to your own data or your own project or problem, this is called transfer learning. So I'm sure people have heard of this term or have read this term. So this is what transfer learning means exactly. Taking a pre-trained model on different data set and then using it for your own problem. Okay, moving on. How accurate are the models that you deploy in real time? Okay, I'm not sure what in real time means here, but I mean, how accurate should the model be to be able to deploy it? Hamad, do you want to answer that question?
Definitely. I mean, well, if you want to know how accurate exactly, I guess that also depends on your problem. And I've seen some models that try to predict stocks, and the accuracy is around 30%, which they consider really high. But it really depends on your problem and what you try to aim. But of course, the higher the accuracy, the better in the end.
Exactly. 100%. It does depend on your problem, because in some cases having 97% accuracy is really good. In other cases, it doesn't mean anything, right? If you're doing, let's say, fraud detection on transactions, and less than 1% of transactions are fraud, having a 98% accuracy means that you're not doing anything. You're missing most of the things. So yeah, it does really depend on your problem and the requirements in that domain. Like what does it do? Perfect. So now that we're done from the technical questions, let's move on more into the learning journey, right? So how does someone, take the first step in their journey? How does someone transition to become a machine learning engineer or a data scientist? So let's dig into the question. And the first question is, what are the requirements to start in machine learning? And what's the path to becoming a machine learning engineer? I mean, and by the way, this also applies to data science, right? Like for those who are watching and don't really know, in our program, we have different tracks. And so Reem and Mohammed have graduated from data science track, and Maryam have graduated from the machine learning engineering track. But I just want to add that they're almost kind of overlapping in some areas. So whenever you guys see a machine learning in a question, it can also apply to data science, right? So we're going to start with Maryam to talk about maybe the requirements for machine learning, to start in machine learning, and then we can move to either Reem or Mohammed to talk about what are the requirements to start in data science or to become a data scientist. So go ahead, Maryam.
Well, for the requirements to start machine learning, when I first started, you only needed to have like good programming skills and some topics in maths that we were tested on. Based on that, in maths, we were tested on statistics and probability, linear algebra, and calculus. And after starting the journey, we were introduced to both the fields, that is the data science as well as machine learning. The basics were taught in both of them. And as we went ahead, after 3 weeks, when we were good with the basics, we had the option to choose between the machine learning and the data science. So anyone can join. It's not necessary for a person to be like in IT only. If you have programming and math skills, then anyone can join.
Yeah, and do you think it requires, like, because I know that a lot of people ask this question, how advanced should the math level be? Like, if I know barely basic math, or I have to be very advanced in math to work in machine learning, how would you answer that?
I mean, according to me, I had, it can be like my minor in mathematics, not exactly too much major, because I had studied in grade 11 and 12. We have gone through all these topics, and as well as in university, I had mathematics for IT. So the details were like there, and also there are courses available online as well. So
yeah, so it's not really like an advanced level of math. Like, if you know the basics math, you're good to go.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. And so what do you think, Reem? Does data science also require the same prerequisites, or do they change a bit in your opinion?
I think, yeah, they are, in my opinion, they are pretty similar, as Maryam said. And yeah, I find so many similarities in machine learning and data science. And even though I feel like you can't do one without the other in somehow, because you need just a basic understanding of statistics and math. You don't need like calculus and how to do integration and stuff like that. But you need to know any basic math and just a basic knowledge of how to program in any language. And you will develop your skill along the way, by working on projects and such.
Definitely. But do you guys think, maybe Muhammad can answer this question? Like, I'm just trying to, I know that sometimes data science and machine learning are, considered the same thing. And in many companies, they don't have, like, they have one role which does both of the tasks, right? But in case we want to separate them, do you think that, for example, programming knowledge, or, the ability to program, do you require less programming knowledge for data science than it is required for machine learning? Or do you think it's the same?
I think it's the same. You require the same amount of knowledge, which isn't like a huge amount of knowledge. It's really simple, and it's Python, which is like the easiest programming language. But in terms of data science, what you might need that machine learning engineers don't really use a lot is the ability to try to analyze the data in a new dimension, that data science gives you like a new dimension of viewing the data and getting insights from there. And then you could build your machine learning model and pass it to the machine learning engineer to tune it. So in my opinion, that's how I view a perfect workplace that has both machine learning engineers and data scientists.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
I
maybe
think the data scientist, sorry.
No, go ahead, Reem.
So I think the data, after working on the capstone project, because my capstone project was a part of machine learning and data science combined. Machine learning requires a bit more programming, more than the data science. And for data science, you can use some softwares to visualize data, to analyze data, but for machine learning, you have to build a model and such. So I think the programming skills for data science is not as much in machine learning.
I agree with you. I think also like data science, as Muhammad said, it's more on the statistical side of things. So understanding the data, figuring out the links, the patterns between the correlation between the data. So having a mindset of statistical, exploration of the data makes more sense. And when it comes to machine learning engineering, and specifically not just training models, but deploying models in production and monitoring them, and this whole MLOps side of things, this is basically a software engineer with a data scientist hat on. So this is how I would see purely a machine learning engineer. But again, as I said, there's a lot of mix and match. There's a lot of overlap. So sometimes a data scientist can also deploy models, or sometimes the machine learning engineer is also exploring data and playing with the data itself. Okay, so I guess we answered what is needed to be a data scientist, right? So data scientists, I think, as you guys said, you do need a bit of programming, definitely. You do need probability, statistics, and understanding of the math as well. And you need to be, I would say, a data investigator, right? So you're investigating the data, you're figuring out, the patterns, the links. So the Sherlock Holmes of data, right? This is kind of a skill that I would say. Now, when it comes to data engineers, you guys, I know that it was not really covered in the program, but do you have any idea what is a data engineer or what is required to become a data engineer, knowing what you guys know?
I mean, I think that you need good knowledge base in SQL, since you're going to be dealing mostly with data. Honestly, that's about it. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think definitely like having understanding of data structures and data there's different ways to store data is definitely important. SQL, even NoSQL, data warehouses, all of those things are covered. But in terms of skills, I would say definitely programming skills. Math, maybe not so much, because they're not dealing with anything statistical. They're not exploring the data, but data engineers are building the infrastructure, the pipelines that collect the data, move the data, streaming data from application to another, saving it, retrieving it, all of those things. So maybe it's purely programming and not so much when it comes to math and statistics. Okay, this is an interesting question. So which is a better way of learning AI, right? So AI here means machine learning, data science, or whatever that falls under this big umbrella. So which is the better way of learning AI? Is it through doing projects or just studying the related topics one by one?
I mean, you need to know the topics one by one before starting any project.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but ideally, of course, it should be a mixture of both. You try to build your bases by studying the ideas individually, and then after doing even more research and trying to implement them as projects, I believe that's how you really grow your skills in terms of any
100%.
Yeah, in terms of any specialization, whether it's data science, machine learning, web development, anything.
Okay. So you're saying that start by learning the concept and then go to apply, right? Go towards building projects and apply. And I definitely, encourage that behavior because, in my opinion, definitely you have to study, you have to know the concepts first, but it's not enough, right? Taking a 2-hour course online or viewing some slides are not enough. The only way to really learn is by practicing, right? It's by building things with your own hands. Because
Definitely.
I always compare it to, let's say, learning to play football, right? Since now there's the FIFA and the World Cup. So you cannot really learn to play football by watching the World Cup, sitting on your couch and watching the players play. You have to get down on the, on the floor or on the stadium, whatever it's called, and then, play, right? Learn the skill itself, play a lot of times to eventually build your skills. And the same thing when it comes to AI and machine learning. You can watch as many slides and as many videos as you like, but it's different when you start working. And you guys have maybe seen this when you started working on the capstone project. Even though you've been doing like many challenges along the way every week, the capstone project is the first time where, okay, we're kind of on our own. This is it. We have to build everything from A to Z, getting the data, and then all the way to deploying the model. So, the more of these projects that you work on, the more experience and knowledge you will learn. Anything you want to add before we move on to the next question?
Just I totally agree with Mohammed. You can't do one without the other also. You have to learn the concept of something before doing it, because it will be like so random if you start doing a project without knowing like its real meaning and the meaning of each thing that you use, like the libraries and such and everything. And that's what I loved about Zeka, to be honest. that in the videos and when you go through the courses, they introduce you first to the concept, and then the meaning, the objectives of this thing, where you can use it, how it can be used, and such. And then after it, immediately you will have like a hands-on project using that the concept that was introduced to you. So yeah, you have to do both, and you can't do one without the other. If you want to go to interviews or have a talk or have a basic knowledge, sure, read about the topics. But if you want to be something, if you want to use it in real life, you have to do projects.
Yeah, and thank you for mentioning that, because this is exactly our philosophy at Zaka when it comes to learning. It's learn by doing most of the things. And as you said, every topic, every chapter has a few slides and then a hands-on application, immediately jumping to learning that.
Exactly.
So let's say someone wants to apply and build projects. Like, where can they go? Where can they find projects or work on projects if they're not taking a program with Zaka or a course at university? Where do you guys think they can work on or practicing this hands-on part?
I mean, to me personally, daily I follow like some pages on LinkedIn for data science and such. They would share like some places where you can find like projects, online projects that you can deploy that has like the data and such, and you can work on it accordingly. And also on the web, you can work on it. You can have any sort of data, they can give it to you using any project. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, totally. You can use the Kaggle challenges too.
Yeah.
If they have a challenge like every day.
Kaggle is a great example. Yeah. There's a lot of online resources or places you can find projects. Kaggle is one of them. Sometimes you can find data sets on GitHub, let's say, and just take it and explore it, or plenty of other blogs as well. Okay, next question is for Maryam. She's been silent too much. So what major should I pursue in university to become an expert in AI and start a successful career in it? So what major?
As I mentioned, it can be any major. I am from information security, but when I started, the only knowledge that I required was obviously, as I mentioned, maths and programming. So it can be any career. They can start if they're really interested in AI. If they have the knowledge in these two topics, then anyone can take it up.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with Maryam. I know a few med students who are actually interested in data science and they kicked off their career in data science.
Exactly. Even with us at Zaka, like we've had a lot of people who were mechanical engineers, who were petroleum engineers, who were biomedical engineers, or someone even studied biology, and then they went to the program and now they're working as machine learning or data scientists, right? Agriculture engineer, right? Thank you, Wissam. So I think, it doesn't really matter where you're coming from, as long as you know the coding and you know the math, right? And both of these, you can learn them through courses online if you have like zero background in them, and then you can kick off your journey. So that's definitely important. All right, next question. What are the soft skills required for the position? I think this is a very interesting question, because we all agree on the technical skills, but when it comes to soft skills, it's not really something that's shown. So based on your experience, guys, going through the program, and I think everyone should add one skill at least. What do you think are the soft skills required for data science, machine learning, or maybe data engineering?
I mean, well, first of all, I'd like to thank you guys for having a soft skill track in the program, which helped a lot. And regarding data science, I believe that there are a handful of soft skills you have to know. On the top of them are effective communication, public speaking, and that's just to name a few. And it really matters how you deal with your coworkers in the workplace and how you deal with clients when you meet them.
Okay, so let's say Mohammed said communication, right, which is very important, as you said, because your job as a data scientist or machine learning engineer is mostly communicating, especially if you're a data scientist who's exploring data and you want to tell a story with that data. right? You want to present your story. You want to communicate your story, in a good way for the stakeholders. So that's important. Maryam, Reem, what soft skills would you like to add from your side?
Well, I would say communication, as you mentioned, it's really important because both ML as well as data science, it is really important as well. And also leadership skills, it is necessary. So, yeah. And yeah, I would add these two skills and the rest, as Mohammed mentioned.
Do you guys think, let's say, patience is something used? Because I think patience is
Yeah, for
Tons
sure.
of
really
patience.
is an
Definitely.
The
underrated.
coding, it is.
Yeah,
And you have to be committed to it.
definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like as you said, you have to try a lot. Like we didn't really mention that before, but machine learning and data science and training models is all about trial and error, right? You try things, you try different algorithms to see what works best. You try different hyperparameters, and this is it requires some patience, right? It's not like I write a code, I run, it works, that's it. You have to try and try and try and have
Problem
this resilience
solving.
to, yeah, exactly. So I think the soft skills are really overlooked when it comes to because AI is such a technical field that people really don't really focus on the other side of things. So I would say patience is very important. Love of working with data. You really have to enjoy working with data, whether it's data science or even machine learning. You have to enjoy working with data because at the end of the day, and you guys can correct me, you're not building models all the time, right? You're working with data. Even as machine learning engineers, there's a lot of data that goes through training the model and even monitoring the model. So if you really don't enjoy working with data, like this is not the good field for you.
And you will get frustrated every day when you work with something and it doesn't work. So you will have like a meaning for yourself just to hang anything on it just because you love it. Actually, it's okay.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Passion for the field is
Exactly.
100%.
And also networking. You have to have a good network to gain data and such. For us data scientists, like to have data, we have to have a network of connections. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, let's move on. Would you recommend doing a master's in AI or machine learning if someone wants to kick off their journey or work in the field?
I mean, it's good. It's for your personal fulfillment. It's good if it makes you happy with yourself, if you go deeper. But I think you can do it without any masters or anything. Google and such are now employing people without any degrees. It's on you. And you can work on yourself without having a PhD or something in machine learning. That's the beauty about it.
I
Yeah,
agree.
totally.
It's also with the experience as you're going to work on many projects, it's going to like improve your skills.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
guys. Go ahead, Mohammed.
No, I was just saying that I totally agree with them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all agree. Like, especially, I loved Reem's answer because it's exactly the point. Like, of course, you can do a master's in the field, but it's not the only requirement to be able to work in that field, right? Right now, specifically because this field it's a new field and there's a lot of demand and not so much supply. If you can prove that you can build these models and work on these projects, this is what companies are looking for. So if you want to learn, first of all, you can learn everything online or by taking a program or anything. So you don't need a university degree for that. And if you want to find a job, you have to prove your technical skills, which you can do by working on projects and building a GitHub portfolio or whatever. So
100%.
So yeah, okay. So before we move to the next topic, we have a question in the chat that I think also aligns with what we were talking about. So it's basically two questions into one. Did you follow a specific roadmap towards learning AI? And also, what is the biggest challenge that you faced in your AI learning journey? So the challenge part, I think everyone should answer that. But regarding the first section, so did you follow a specific roadmap? How would you guys want to answer?
I mean, it really depends. What do you mean by roadmap? Do you mean,
Exactly.
have you يعني how I think of it is that the roadmap we followed is learning the basics of or the fundamentals, and then building our way and diving deep into our specializations. So you start from the AI flag, let's call it that, and then you go in deeper, whether you want to go to machine learning or data science. As for challenges, I mean, يعني, the road is full of them. Try to enjoy it.
Can you name one challenge you faced, Muhammad?
One challenge I faced.
Yeah, in the whole journey.
In the journey of learning or in the Zaka journey?
I assume it's kind of both, because I'm assuming the Zaka program is also part of your learning journey, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there are lots of challenges. Every week we had a challenge with a specific issue that got on your nerves, but it felt amazing when you solved it in النهاية. The biggest challenge I would say is definitely the capstone, and definitely tying everything in together. But luckily we had Kamal, I believe he's in the call with us. Yeah, Kamal didn't leave us a second. He helped us a lot.
Thank you, Kamal, for mentoring the team. All right. Reem, Maryam, what are you guys' challenges that you faced?
So I think you can talk.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
That's okay. So the challenges, I would say, mainly how to find a solution for your problem, because usually the challenges for Zaka have a new meaning. Like it's not like your homework that you have in your exam, in your college, sorry, or in your university. It's not something that you learned previously. When they challenge you, they challenge your skills of exploring, your skills of trial and error, as you said, to check what fits your solution and your model, how to utilize the data to the max. So these were the challenges: how to find the best route to reach your goal. And for the first question was what the roadmap, I think.
Yeah.
First define roadmap. So I think for the roadmap, as I understood, I think Zaka will help you lay down the roadmap. That's my personal journey, my personal opinion. Because when I started Zaka, I was like, I will go to data science or machine learning, but then they said that we will give you a few weeks with this path and then a few weeks with the other path, and then you pick and choose whatever you want. So they lay down the roadmap to you. They help you have a greater or better vision of what do you really want. So yeah.
Thank you, Reem. Maryam.
Well, I agree with Reem as well. The roadmap, everything was well structured for us, starting from the basics and going till the specialization. It was really, everything was perfect. So that is really great about Zaka, that I really loved. And regarding the challenge, yes, the weekly challenge that we had. And after completing the videos and working on the challenge, sometimes when the code doesn't work, that's the part, because I faced really problem with that. But alhamdulillah, I was able to complete, and it was really like you feel great after, like, when you're able to solve it. So yeah.
Definitely.
Also, I want to add just one thing.
Yes.
Just also because I loved also about Zaka that they help you also with the deep and the deep down. After each section, we will have a set of places that we can find even deeper meaning or the deeper content about the whatever we're having in the section or the week. If we didn't find it like, which is rare, if we didn't find it like, how to say it, suitable or not understandable. Usually it is, because there is tutorials and stuff. But they will help me. With the Zaka, they help me so much with the roadmap. So don't worry.
Yes, exactly. And you can only fit so much in 16 weeks. That's why there's always, for every topic, we always have like a list of links. If you want to dive deep into those topics, go ahead, read this, do that.
Yes.
It's important. Thank you, guys. So moving on to the third topic, which is careers and jobs, right? Like most people, they don't just want to learn for the sake of learning. They want to kickstart their career. They want to, transition from agricultural engineer or mechanical engineer or whatever to a machine learning engineer, right? So the first question is, what is the difference between data analyst, data science, and machine learning jobs? I think we've kind of covered that. So let me quickly answer it for the sake of time. Data analysts are people who analyze the data, right? Not necessarily using code, but maybe using tools that are no-code tools that help you, play around with the data and analyze the data. Data scientists are people who know how to code and they can export the data, as we said, build models, build dashboards, tell a story using the data. Yes. Machine learning engineers are people who can, of course, work with the data, but they're mostly into the modeling side of things. So they build different models, and more importantly, they deploy the model in production. They integrate the model with the website, the application, whatever it is that the product is doing, and they monitor the model. They make sure it's always predicting correctly, all of those things. Can you get a job in machine learning without a lot of experience and with just certificate? Who want to answer this question?
I mean, I think it depends on what you say experience. If your experience and certificates, you can be better by project and such. Okay, go ahead, of course. But with just experience, I think you can't gain certificates. You can't gain experience without certificates. I think in a way.
Okay, Hamad, I think you want to add something.
Yeah, I agree with Reem, but right now at this point of time, I think it's so much easier to get into one of these fields, especially to get a job, since, as you said, the demand is really high. And surprisingly, not a lot of people that are going into this field.
I mean, even
if you don't have experience, it's okay. If you don't have experience, it's not the end of the world, Yani.
Yes, I think I would say certificates, just for the sake of certificates, are not enough, right? Just like doing a master's, as you said earlier. If you can prove that you have experience, practical experience, then it's going to help you find a job, right? Now, what does experience mean? It doesn't have to be 5 years of experience, right? Doing a 16-week program and then a capstone project, this is in itself a form of experience. You've not just taken a high-level course. You've built things with your own hands. You have a couple of projects that you can add on your resume that you can showcase that I've built this. So this is experience. Even if it's a minimal part, it is experience, and then you can build on that. So every month or every whatever time, as time goes by, you're working on new projects, you're expanding your experience in that. And I think as someone who has worked with companies and who talk to companies a lot that are hiring, I know that they care about this specific thing. They don't look at the certificate in itself as just a piece of paper that says, yes, this person took X. They look at what can this person build or what have they built before, right? That's why we really emphasize on having a GitHub portfolio or a place that you can showcase the project that you've worked on. All right. The next question is, how can I score an internship or a junior role? How do you guys think someone might be able to score an internship or a junior role?
The rest of the guys might have an idea. I'm still a student. It would be great to know that, actually.
The same here.
Okay.
So
Reem, any thoughts?
I don't look for internships for now because I'm looking to have my own startup, inshallah. But for now, you can have through connections, you can have through proving to people, as you said, Chris, and having a GitHub with your projects with such, you can show people what you can do and what your achievements, basically. Through your achievements, you can score anything, I think.
100%. This is what we tell all of our graduates, and you guys know this. that as soon as you graduate, you're always going to be working on projects, right? And we always tell you, keep your LinkedIn up to date, right? Share your results, share your work. If you did a small project, put it on GitHub, maybe write a blog post, maybe share a LinkedIn post about it. Like, show people that you know this stuff, right?
Exactly.
And this is also comes with the connection. So if you're following people on LinkedIn, you're sharing posts that you said, hey, I did this thing, I built this model, I explored this data, whatever. People are looking, right? They're listening, they're viewing what's happening. You're gonna attract attention, and then you got yourself an interview, and this is how it starts,
yourself,
right?
basically. Yeah.
Exactly. So put yourself out there and showcase your knowledge. What do ML engineers do on a daily basis? Actually, let me answer this question just for the sake of time, because I think some of them might be repeating the task. So machine learning engineers on a daily basis, they're basically either preparing the data for training the models, or they're monitoring the training process, because sometimes model does not train in 1 hour or two. It might take some days to train. So they're monitoring the training process, they're evaluating, comparing the results of the training experiments, or they're monitoring the models that are being deployed, right? So these are some of the tasks that machine learning engineers do on a daily basis. Are there enough job opportunities in this field? I'm gonna also answer this question because you guys, I don't think anyone has information, but I can tell you that this field is growing rapidly, specifically in the MENA region. Like if you look at, so LinkedIn does this survey every year. They release LinkedIn Jobs on the Rise reports. So in every country, they kind of list what are the top 10, I think, jobs that are being, put on LinkedIn Jobs every year. And across the MENA region, machine learning engineers and data scientists are among the top 5. Whether we're talking about Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, Oman, Egypt, across the region, I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of demand for this, for this type of talent, right? And of course, you can see, not just in the region, globally, this field is growing massively. And the way you can know that is to go back, let's say 5 years ago or 8 years ago, there were not these different, there was just one person, a data scientist, who used to do everything. And now you have machine learning engineers, ML ops engineers, a data engineer. And then these specific roles that are coming out of the field shows that the field is maturing and the field is growing. And for that reason, there's a lot of opportunities in the field. How to make a career shift from web development to machine learning, and is it worth it? Guys, do you want to answer that?
I didn't specialize in machine learning, but I think, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, people jumped from medicine and other types of engineering, chemical engineering, to machine learning. So I believe it would be actually easier for someone to jump from web development to machine learning.
You
Exactly.
can
Maryam,
use
do you want to
actually
add?
machine learning to develop websites. So I think so. But you can't do the other.
Also, you just mentioned as the demand is increasing, so I guess it's really worth it because the job opportunities, there are more. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So just to give you kind of quickly the answer, if you're a web developer, you know programming, right? So it's going to be easy for you to kind of become a machine learning engineer when it comes to that specific skill. Of course, how do you do that? You need to go through the concepts and you need to apply to build things. And then eventually you can start, building websites that include ML models in them, for example. And when it comes to the other part of the question, is it worth it? I guess everyone here agrees it's totally worth it. There's plenty of job vacancies in that field. So definitely go for that. The last question is, can I work as a machine learning engineer if my education is in mathematics and statistics? I think we kind of answered that as well.
Yeah.
If you add to that some programming knowledge, which you can learn also online or by taking a boot camp, then you would be perfect fit to become an ML engineer or data scientist. Because as we said today, you need programming, you need a bit of math, and then you need time and dedication, and you can become data scientist or machine learning engineer. All right, the last topic is AIC, which is Artificial Intelligence Certification. So that's the program that all of you guys took and graduated from. What are the essential things that AIC program will provide for me? There's a lot of things, but to keep it short, maybe each person can list one thing that the AI program provided you guys and that you think it was essential in your learning journey. Let's start with Reem.
They will provide you with the basic knowledge of any field that you pick, either videos or slides, the dig deep links, whatever you need to become the one that you want, or specialized in what you need, you will have it.
Okay, so knowledge, let's say, or guidance.
Yeah.
Muhammad, what is the one essential thing that you think the program provided you?
Yeah, well, I was about to say guidance actually, but
well, you can
but,
add career guidance if you'd like.
yeah, definitely career guidance, and honestly, the instructors, they are always one message away. You can message them at any time of the day, and they will answer you immediately and help you with whatever you have.
Okay, Maryam.
Well, regarding, as they have mentioned, the technical skills, and there were like many things, the soft skills, and also meeting the partners of Zaka and the project's experts. We had a meeting with them as well, where they displayed the projects that they're working on. And also we had our mentors who helped us in the capstone project. So there were many things also like preparing us for in the real world, preparing CV, and we had also practice mock interview as well. So there were many things.
Nice. So in addition to the technical, yeah, Jim, go ahead.
I don't want to exaggerate, but you will be provided confidence when speaking about your major. The other day I went into a conference and they were speaking about data science and such, and I was able to communicate with them and talk about the major confidently. Also, you will be provided with assurance, because I'm an overthinker. You will have assurance that maybe, okay, I finished this program, but I don't know how to, let's say, present myself, how to market myself. I don't know where to look, how to network with people, how to speak up. In Zaka, you will be provided with these soft skills, how to speak publicly with confidence. What do you need? What do you don't need? Even the tone, how to speak in it. CV preparation, even for, interviews. Other workshops or other programs won't even care that you do good or do amazing or do any decent job on your interviews. But they will prepare you and have mock interviews for you, and they will give you their feedback on how to even get better in it. So I think it's not only the knowledge, the practical knowledge and such, but they will invest in you and make sure that you become a confident person, in general.
Perfect. You guys have summed up everything, so there's nothing for me to add. To jump to the next question, how can the AIC program engage me in the labor markets? And I guess here they're meaning the job-related support. Do you guys want to answer, or do you want me to answer that question?
I mean, we could tell them that there's a career fair at the end of the cohort. So you will be engaged even after you finish the cohort. You will still be engaged, and people will follow up with you about whether you got a job or not. And if you didn't get a job, you guys will actually help us to get a job.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had people reach out to me even after the fair that they want to work with me on my project and to work with me just in general. So yeah.
Exactly. To sum things up, so we have soft skill support during the program, and then we have career fair at the end to introduce you to recruiters, and then after that we follow up. We have someone from the team whose main job is to follow up with the participants to make sure that that they have the right support to support them before the interviews. If they need anything with their CV, mock interviews, etc. It's a more advanced program to prepare people who seek an AI career. I think, without repeating ourselves, I think you guys have already answered the question, in my opinion, right? It's not about being an advanced program. I think It provides the essential skills. It provides you with technical, with soft skills. It provides you with confidence, as Reem said. It provides you with support, with guidance, instructors there to support you if you have any questions. So I believe, again, guys, correct me if I'm missing anything, but in my opinion, these are the things that make a program a successful program, to have someone launch a career in the field.
Yes, totally.
All right, how much does it cost? Is it free? It's not free, unfortunately. I will tell you in a bit how much does it cost. I have a couple of slides that's going to introduce the program to anyone who does not know that. So I'm going to answer that later. How will this program help me introduce my skills to the talent acquisition managers who are hiring AI developers? I think, again, not to repeat the same things, we do help people with the CVs, right? We're building their CVs, and we do help them connect to recruiters. And so we will make sure that you will expose or highlight your skills in the most efficient way and the most, guaranteed way for you to successfully land a job or maybe an internship in the field. So let me quickly give you an introduction for those of you who don't know what the AIC program is. I just need 5 minutes, and then we can wrap up the webinar and then open up the question and answer section at the end. So the reason why we created the AIC program is because we hear a lot of people, as you guys said as you guys seen from the questions, a lot of people want to have a career in the field. They want to work in AI, but they don't know where to start and where to go and how to navigate this whole complex and big field. Because AI is not a small field; it's a huge field. It has a lot of topics under it, and it can be very confusing and scary sometimes to take that journey on your own. And so we get a lot of people asking us, I've taken this course, what should I do next? How can I take my skills to the next level, etc.? And everyone wishes there was this shortcut, this highway that takes you from zero to hero all the way, right? And this is why we have our AI certification program. It's meant to save you from taking all of those shortcuts, all of those, turns and roads, and just literally a shortcut from knowing nothing to becoming a certified AI engineer, working in the field. And so the AIC program is a 16-week online program that has 3 career tracks, right? So you guys, you know about the machine learning engineer and the data science track, and now we're launching a new track for the data engineering track, right? So during those 16 weeks, as you guys have known already, we cover a lot of the things that you need to know, from basics all the way to working in the field. And in addition to the technical skills, you also get soft skills. And so you graduate with market-ready skills in AI. What does market-ready skills mean? It means that you are now ready to work in the field. You know everything that needs to be known in a way to get started in the field, to work in the field. And we also support you, as you know, by connecting you with opportunities, with recruiters, etc. So to quickly cover, what do we cover in every track? In the machine learning track, we go from the basics of or foundations of data science, machine learning, all the way to neural networks, deep learning in advanced data types. So we cover computer vision, natural language processing, time series analysis, machine learning in production, deploying models, and monitoring models in production. We also have career development weeks. We also have an exciting week, which is research and hot topics. And if you guys remember, this is where we bring experts in the field who are working on different exciting projects. They come and share their experience working on cutting edge fields or exciting things with AI. Finally, we have 3 weeks focused on capstone projects, where you guys have to build your project to graduate. And then we have the career fair week at the end. The data science track is a bit similar to the machine learning track. We do cover data science foundations and machine learning foundations at the beginning, but then we go into specific things related to data science, which are working with different data types, including geospatial data as well, working with the SQL, NoSQL databases, data science and production. So we introduce tools like Kafka to stream data, or Hadoop and Spark. And also, importantly for data scientists, are the ability to tell a story with data and build dashboards. That's why week number 10 is focused on storytelling with data. And then the rest is similar. So we have career development weeks, we have research and hot topics, and we have capstone projects at the end. And the newest track, which is data engineering track, is much different than the 2 others, because it's a bit different. So we cover, of course, introduction to the data engineering concept, programming skills that are required for data engineers, introduction to databases and the data warehouses. Then we go into building data pipelines. So, how can we extract, transform, and load? What are data warehousing and automation of the pipelines? Then we go into big data, dealing with data at scale, using Hadoop, using Spark, data streaming and automation. And then we go into the clouds and how do we apply all of those on cloud infrastructure. So we have a whole week dedicated to AWS and then another whole week dedicated to Azure. So we cover both of these platforms. And then, of course, we do have career development weeks and we do have capstone projects towards the end. So in terms of the tools covered, it's all hands-on. You get introduced to a lot of tools. Of course, these tools are a combination of across the 3 tracks, but if you pick one track, you might not cover all of them. But we give you the necessary tools that are used in the job market. You'll get familiar using those tools. And to quickly recap and give you the price of the program, what does the AI certification offer you? 10 weeks of technical training, which is more than 120 hours of learning. You get capstone projects with round-the-clock advising, as Muhammad said, and everyone mentioned here. You have an advisor, a mentor, gonna guide you in the process. You have weekly office hours and instructor support. So the program is not a self-paced course that you just go in and watch videos, at your own time. We don't really believe in self-paced learning. There's a whole interactive element to that. So you have live sessions that you have to attend. And you guys know that the attendance is mandatory in our program. So you really have to join the capstone, the office hours, the workshops that we had every week, the instructor or the invited talks. So all of those interactivities are important for you to learn. You get 3 weeks focused one-on-one mentoring for the projects, for the capstone projects. You also get soft skills workshops and career development services. You get exclusive access to a career fair at the end where you get to meet recruiters and companies, present your project, share your CVs, and connect with other people in the fields. All of those, this is the total value of the program, $2,967 to get 16 weeks of intensive support to launch your career in the field. So this might look like a huge number to some people, but it's totally worth it if your goal is to find a job in the fields. And also we do have different payment options and financial options to help you launch your career. So who is this AIC program for? It's for anyone who is looking to upgrade their skills and land a job in machine learning, data science, or data engineering. It's for anyone who wants to transition to the AI world and wondering where to begin. So if you already, like we said, mechanical engineer or agricultural engineer, and you'd like to transition and you don't know where to start, this program is for you. And finally, if you already have a job, but you want to introduce cutting-edge technologies to your existing solutions, or you want to launch your own startup and you'd like to leverage AI to do that, then this program is for you. We always like to benefit or give discounts for anyone who's attending the webinars. So if you'd like to join the program and you'd like to have a discount voucher for the program, then there will be a link shared in the chat. Please use it to schedule a call, and we'll provide you with a discount and we'll support you on how you can get started. Also, if you'd like to start your application for this program, if you'd like to check if you're eligible, because we do have a technical assessment that will qualify you to join or not this program. So you can go to aic.zaka.ai. You can create a free account, start your application process. If you pass the assessment, you can then schedule a call with our team and we will support you with the financials and all of that. So to quickly recap, let me keep this on. Before we, first of all, thank you so much, Reem. Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you, Maryam, for taking time and joining us today and for sharing your insights with our attendees and anyone who's watching this webinar. Let's quickly recap. What is the last message or advice that you'd like to share with anyone who's watching this program? And I'll start with Reem.
Okay, first of all, thanks for having us. It means a lot. And for anyone who's willing to join Zaka's program, I must tell you that Zaka is not for the weak. And if you want to join it, and you have to come with your whole package, and you have to participate, you have to commit to it, you have to engage, you have to explore, you have to use your potentials to the fullest. If you do all of these, you will have immaculate opportunities ahead of you. And I'm telling you from the other side, because I graduated. So I think you will find great opportunities. And I said that you will speak confidently with people. You will have an immaculate self-esteem, I would say. And it will impact you really on every possible level, to be honest.
I love the first sentence. Zaka is not for the weak. So can we use it for our slogan for the program?
Thank you.
Interesting. Thank you, Reem.
Sure.
Mohammed, you want to go next?
Sure, I definitely agree with everything Reem said. It's all true. Even the Zaka is not for the weak part, well, especially that. But if you do have the chance to apply and you really want to do it, or you want to make a change in your life, you should go for it. I never hesitated when I signed up, and I never regretted that. One thing worth mentioning, you have to be really determined to finish this course because it is very challenging. And if you won't be up to standard, you won't be able to finish the cohort.
Great. Yes, definitely. There's a clear criteria on what you should be doing, and we really push everyone to maintain that quality. But we also support you. You know, if you're facing any issues or anything else, we're here to guide you on that journey. Thank you, Mohammed. Maryam.
Thanks for having us here. And I 100% agree with Reem and Mohammed what they shared. It's 100% worth it. Like, it's a full package, I would say. They're making you market ready with so many things. So, and also you have to be determined as well. So you should give it a try if you're looking for a change in other field.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Maryam, again for joining us. Okay, so now that's the end of the webinar. We have some time for Q&A. If you guys also have like 5-10 minutes, you can stick around. That would be great. If you need to leave, we totally understand that. We can open up the discussion now. If anyone from the audience would like to ask a question. I know that Hassan wanted to unmute and ask us a question in person. So go ahead, Hassan.
Okay. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you, Hassan?
Hello.
So my question is about the job, machine learning job in general. I saw some discussions on LinkedIn and several platforms. They were communicating on how ML ops is the greater part of a machine learning job. So I want to ask, is this true to some extent? Is this actually, is ML ops actually the most part of a machine learning job? The companies don't require you to build some state-of-the-art model, but instead they want someone who knows how to make it available for clients, and so this is my question.
Mohammed, you want to answer?
Sure. Well, I mean, I was about to say that I think Chris and Maryam could elaborate on this more.
No, yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure from what I saw that the program equips you for using or for getting a job in the ML ops division, especially in the case of production.
Yeah, so I think what I wanted to say is it's kind of true, but also not necessarily true. So first of all, if the company, because nowadays you have a lot of pre-trained model that you can just take and fine tune. So it's not, how do you say it? It's not maybe as important as it was previously to, okay, I know how to train models. It's not enough anymore, right? Because training models right now doesn't really, it's just, again, most of the tasks, you're just taking a pre-trained model, you're fine-tuning it to your data, which is a pretty simple thing, right? So right now, if you really want to work in the machine learning, you have to know MLOps. You have to know the next step. After you have a good model that works in your Jupyter Notebook environment, how do you deploy that? How do you use it in your project, in your app, in your software, whatever that is? and how do you deploy it? How do you train it at scale? How do you monitor it? And this is what MLOps means, right? Because it's now so easy, because the field has matured and allows you to easily get a well-trained model. The next step is what's required. So it is kind of true that MLOps are needed to be a good ML engineers and to find a good job in the field. I hope this answers your question, Hassan.
Yes. Thank you.
My pleasure. Do we have any other questions? Let me check the chat if we missed any questions. May ask, is it better to do higher studies in AI or concentrate on getting experience? I think we did answer a similar question, right? So getting a higher studies just for the sake of getting a certificate is not enough, right? What's important if you want to work in the field is experience. You can get that with or without a certificate. So that's totally up to you. Anything else?
Yeah, especially if they want, like, if you're planning on pursuing an academic field or working in an academic field, okay, yes, I will tell you that go for masters, go for PhD. But if you are not planning to work in the academic field, invest that time in yourself and working on projects and such. Having it for a personal fulfillment, oh, okay, great, go ahead. We all root for you. But yeah, you can invest that time and effort on your own.
100%. Okay, looks like we have no more questions. I'm gonna give just like a minute or two for if people would like to ask last-minute questions. Meanwhile, again, I wanna thank you guys for joining us and sharing your experiences and your story with everyone who's watching. For me, it was a pleasure chatting with you and getting to share your stories with everyone. We'll definitely, of course, we're gonna be in touch, and we're always gonna look and follow your successes, and hopefully have some success stories coming out of the program, which is for us, as you said, your success means the success of Zaka and success of the program itself. So I think that's it. We have no more questions, so we can wrap this up. Thank you, everyone who's watching. Thank you, Reem, Hamad, and Maryam for joining us today. And yeah, hope to see you all again soon.
Great to have you. Thank you so much for having us.
Pleasure to be